Notice over here, factory Landau. That's right. Follow.
Ah, open the door.
Hi. Just kidding.
So here's a crazy story. Imagine you're a guy just like me. That's it, that's the whole story. No, imagine you're just somebody like me who makes silly YouTube videos in their basement. And then Tim Pierce says one day, hey, let's go to James Tyler Guitars for a factory tour. And then you're like, I'm dreaming. But then you realize it's not a dream, and then this happens.
Okay, are we filming?
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
To give a little rundown, it's the same you see at every shop, you know. This is basically our wood area where we bring wood in.
wood comes in. You cut it down and put it up against here.
Oh.
Of course, there's none wood here right now because we're out of wood. We got to order wood.
I've expanded so much that we're just busting out of the place. We can build our own body blanks, but I got a guy who does it for us. It just saves us a little time. But it's getting harder and harder to find light alder, so we might have to start finding it ourselves. And the reason we need light alder is not because we're all like, oh, we're snobby wood guys, but because we add 6 to 8 ounces of finish, you know. A guitar can easily get over 8 pounds pretty quickly. But we use, you know, the typical alder, ashes, maples. We tried roasted maple. Anything we try, if it messes up the sound, it's a no-go. And we did a roasted maple, and Jim was still here at that point, and he was okay with it. He could hear it was a slight bit different sound, but he was cool with it. It sounded good. One of the weird woods we use is, we call it mamaiwu, which is Malaysian mystery wood, but it's actually jelutong. And there's a whole fun story behind why we made up the story for mamaiwu. It's because back in the day, you could get this wood in abundance, and it has a really tight grain that's really easy to sand and shape. So guitar builders would even use it to make bodies, right? And get the shape just right, and then build it out of alder. Jim doesn't even remember how he ended up with one from Philip Kubicki, jelutong body, but he put the guitar together, and he really liked what it did to the mid-range. And that's what all those early studio elites were, is this mamaiwu. And he came up with that name because it was really cheap and really abundant, because not only did guitar companies use it for modeling, so did Ford and Chevy, because they could cut out a body of a car and then paint it so they could kind of get a 3D vibe on the car. Somebody found out he was using that wood from another company, was kind of giving him the business, and he's like, and it used to be cheaper. Like these aren't real numbers, but like say an alder body cost $50, mamaiwu would be like $5. But now, if an alder body was $50, mamaiwu is like $100, because now they aren't bringing it in because we have SolidWorks and 3D modelers and stuff like that, and you know, we can 3D printing, so they don't need it anymore. So now I have to actually find it and pay extra, which is funny. But it has a sound that's really cool, and every time somebody gets one, they're kind of psyched out, like, ooh, I don't know. And then they get it, and they're like, wow, it sits in the track, it just sounds great, whatever. So that's kind of one interesting wood we use. These are fun, old Bridgeports. We use for a couple of little different functions, but those machines are older than all of us. This is Gil. Some of you guys already know Gil.
and then we take hand routers. That's right, hand routers. And route out the body.
Obviously CNC machine, and a lot of people poo-poo CNCs and talk about handmade, but
This is what people think. They think it comes out of that and the guitar's
ready to go. Yeah, no. There's still so much handwork.
All the way down to even routing out the outside bit.
Wow. What computer is that running? That's like Windows 90.
That feeds the program into the CNC side. Yeah. We're getting ready to update that. I got a guy who's going to put a whole new thing on it. He can put that on there and be doing something else, so it helps us keep costs down. That's all. This is kind of rare that you get to see this. This is how we do the hollow body. It's completely hollowed out all the way inside, and you do the two sides obviously, and then they go together like this and get glued back together, kind of like a top on a guitar.
Do a clamshell.
And the whole guitar is louder and more acoustically loud. So Jim's like, that has to make it sound better, because Jim doesn't notice anything in tone. But he says that there's a resonance, and that just has to be better.
How much weight does that take out?
Over a pound.
Yeah.
Yeah. And nobody's ever said, yeah, I don't know, this guitar is cool, but there's something about the tone. They don't even know. It's hollow and it's light.
I'll show you guys a hollow body that we just cut.
Just like in those cooking shows. Look, it's already done.
Each one of these spreads that we cut was 10.2 pounds. And now fill.
Oh, that's my kind of thing.
And that actually has some weight because it's still limba.
Yeah, exactly.
You do this out of a light piece of an ash, and we have to actually kind of weight it down because it becomes helium.
Yeah, what do you do with the neck? What do you neck
Want to
dive?
feel it, Tim?
No.
No neck dive?
No, just,
No,
it's
no.
a strat style, so
I-
the way
right.
it's positioned,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it hangs well.
Balance is fine.
Yeah.
I balanced that alien guano. I balanced the guitar in the back of a chair and took a picture. So when a guy is all worried about neck dive, there's none.
Nice.
No,
Yeah.
because it only takes a pound out. It's not like we're pulling out 10 pounds, or something. So sanding tables, obviously everybody has tons of those.
And then you shape it and sand it, smooth it up, and we got a bunch of different machines that do a bunch of different stuff. We got stuff like this that does this, stuff like this that planes necks and so forth. Roughed out like so. Just a block of wood because we don't have the fret slap cutting machine yet. Buying that later this year. Cool, that sucks. Get used to it because it's the wave of the future.
Thickness sander. Basically, it's a sander that can be you can get ultra tight tolerances to get your necks and your bodies exactly a certain thickness once you plane them and, have them a certain size. Typical stuff here, joiners, planer, typical, you run it through. This does the hard planing and that does the finishing sanding. So this is how we do our compound radius from 10 to 12.
Oh, wow.
Typical grizzly edge sander, but this company in Orange County actually designed this, and we actually had them make this piece for us special, but it's 10 to 12. So when the neck is down toward that and you swing it, then you end up with it truly goes from 10 here, which makes it more comfortable for chording, to 12 here. But it's not just 10 and then we sand some 12 into it. It actually goes from 10 and then flattens out to 12. So that's pretty fun. Ian here does all the neck work. Just recently we got this big honkin' clamps. It's just clamps for clamping necks or bodies. We used to use these. We still use them for certain things, but they're small and it takes forever. These, you just drop it in there and you get a lot of pressure and
Very cool.
crank it down. You'll like this next story because, the bench, Jim built that when he was just left Norman's Rare Guitars back in the 70s. And it's been with us the whole time. When I started working for him in '87, he already had this bench, and it already had, do you recognize the name? D Strum, as in Slaughter. But he was at that band Spanos that had the hit Hot Cherie like Hardline had, but this guy Spanos did it. I was talking to Jim like last year, and he said, yeah, but Rich, I didn't meet Dana when he was playing hair metal and stuff. I met him when he was playing for Bette Midler. And you can look up Slaughter later, but he played with Slaughter. But
No, I know the name.
yeah, so Jim met him when he played for Bette Midler, and the keyboard player in the band was Barry Manilow.
Is this the original Tyler location?
No. It started, Jim was at Norm's, he was over at another place, then he was in Van Nuys for a long time, and then moved up here. Yeah, he was on Van Nuys, but we were in his garage when it started. This is the box of numbers. This pounded every single one of the 8,000 serial numbers into the bottom of the neck.
Cool. That's awesome.
I'm thinking if I found a new set, I could probably sell this set for bucks. But this was Jim's area, and he set up every guitar that's been set up was set up right here. And at some point we're gonna have a museum, and this will be like Leo's bench. It'll be in there with the Peterson, and the holes cut in there, and the whole shebang. Yeah, we miss Jim.
This is the new bass we're trying to come up with. It's bodiless.
All right.
It's going to be tough.
Yeah.
We're figuring it out.
Did you guys make this? Is this custom?
Custom.
Yeah. That's vintage. Every guitar is used, technically.
True.
That's what I tell people. Right?
Follow me. Oh, wait. Turn around.
So one fun thing that Gil does, besides being a worker, he does stuff like figure out how to, just make things happen. This is going to be our new paint stick, so you can turn the body as well as
Sets up rigs and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. We had that one. I painted on that one. That actual one, like back in the '90s, I used to help paint. So.
And then they get stuck up here like so, and then they magically get painted like so. This one's ready to sand and buff.
This is Tucker. We'll go bug Tucker.
Hi, I watch every video.
This guy watches every one of your videos. He has a YouTube channel. He's friends with Tim Pierce. That's Tim Pierce.
Yeah, you guys both look familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Friday you do them or Thursday or something?
Mondays.
yeah, yeah. That's the guy actually. Our social media guy's over there.
Oh, there's another one. Another one. I'm from Ottawa. Dave Lozon buys the usually the Vice.
Oh yeah.
Shmear, those crazy ones.
Yeah.
I get to see all of them. I'm like, well, what do you get now?
Anybody in the spray booth right now?
No.
Okay. We can go in the spray booth.
Nobody's in here?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, we can't go in, but you can stand right here.
Yeah.
So the other fun thing over there, see the thing with the 6 things sticking out? So Gil used to work for Parker, and they had to rotate their bodies up to make sure they flowed out as flat as possible because it's hard to buff a Parker. So we do these shmears as well as clears. First we did it for the shmear because Tucker used to have to come in and keep turning the body every 10 minutes. But now with that thing, it's a rotisserie. It puts them on there and it just spins until it cures, and it also flows it out nice too. So Jim, when he moved in here, he realized that the expensive part was that fan over there and the permits. So he's like, I'm going to buy a carport. So you go in, you shut the door, and you stay in there to mix, to paint, and put them on sticks. So you're not going in and out with your bodies and stuff. So, yeah. And then grain filling here, and that's my son. He works for me. And awesome. Jim used to have 5 employees. I got about 22 employees now.
Okay. How many guitars do you guys do a year?
Well, it used to be 5 a week, and now we do 16.
Oh, wow.
So we'll be a bit over 700 guitars this year. That was last year, and now we're gonna go over 700. You saw, just staging areas for various, One thing Jim always used to say is, this job is sanding and then the rest of it. But the job is sanding because of every layer. So we got to shape the body, and then you put this much paint on, and it's this whole process. You got to sand it back flat again, and then reshape it again, because obviously we can't let it be oblong and look all weird, This is fun. We do left-handed, and we do not charge extra. So if you're out there left-handed, we only do the SC with the pick guard, but all you lefties, So this is our pickup area. All the typical stuff, wiring pickups and pick guards get made right back there. He makes all the pick guards on the CNC, so they're not just like sent to us from some company. We make every pick guard by hand on the CNC and clean them up. And then I have a couple that have their own company called Sonic Pickups, and then they come here and work for me part-time, almost full-time really. And we make all the parts, and we find companies to make different pieces of it, and then we build them all. And of course we use Seymour Duncan's, because what a great legacy. I mean, Seymour and Jim go back to when they were both repair guys. So that's a Dunn pickguard. That's how much wiring goes into a Studio Elite. Yeah, and these are Duncan's, so they're stacked, so you can do the series parallel. I did a video with Asif, I thought, oh, you know what? Let me just show everybody real quick. We'll do a quick 1-2 minute video.
This is same coils that'll be in his. It's each single coil has a matched canceling coil that doesn't pick up any sound from the strings, so you get an actual single coil sound even though there's a canceling coil. It cancels the hum. And this is your basic lead rhythm circuitry.
13 minutes later, I was like, maybe this isn't as easy as I think.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Then we bolt the neck on and drill it, wire it up.
And then the last little piece is assembly. So over here we do all kinds of stuff like Nelsoniting, obviously fret dresses, and then we put Nelsonite on rosewood, and it's the stuff you put on your deck so that if it rains, it doesn't wreck your wood.
Right.
So it like seals the rosewood better than just oiling or whatever like that.
So you never need to oil it then?
No.
It doesn't dry
No.
out the same way?
Mm-mm. Nope, it holds the moisture in. And Fred puts them all together. Pete will shield these. You know, the bodies are fully shielded, so they end up looking like, yep, every single one. And we've been doing that time in memoriam because that's kind of where Jim started.
Yeah.
Is
The mods?
he
like
could,
that?
yeah, well, he could just making a guitar stay in tune and be as noiseless
okay.
as possible. I mean, Tim knows this from, the 70s when, everything started getting kind of clean recording, like Steely Dan and all that.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, single coils were a real problem, and
Right.
you had to lay on a couch in a certain position, and then, okay, hit,
Yeah.
go, roll tape, and get your part. Is that Sonic Blue? Daphne Blue, that's right.
They're all very close.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is kind of fun. This is probably Lozon. I would be surprised. That's pretty crazy. The kid from, he used to work at Rev, Kyle, came up with, he said, hey, can we do like the Psychedelic Vomit, Fresh Vomit, but with the colors of Miami Vice?
Oh, he did?
So, yeah, Kyle Karich. And then that became the Vice Shmear, which shouldn't work, but Tucker figured it out. Which, because the paint, the way it flows together, it should change into brown muck, but he figured out how to do it. But we stage this is like waiting to get dressed, this is dressed, So here's the fun story about where shmears came from. Everybody knows Mike Landau, and he had all the beat up guitars and stuff. The most famous one being Coma, right? I was sanding a turquoise guitar, and this is when we were over on Sepulveda. I was sanding this very body that became the first Psychedelic Vomit. So that color turquoise, and I was sanding, and it was turquoise and wood and silver all over the place, right? Because I was just trying to strip it down. And I said, hey, Jim, this looks like something that Mike would like. And he goes, well, he's coming in tomorrow. Leave it on your bench. And Mike came in, and he's like, oh, what is this? So him and Jim finished off with the other 3 colors and sanded it again, and it became Psychedelic Vomit. And I'm almost dead sure we used to not do an arm contour on a Studio Elite, but with the standard bridge, Mike needed his arm down, and I'm almost dead sure they probably were done with the body, and then Mike was like, I need an arm contour, and Jim was just like, let's just chop it off. I remember Jim saying that he always liked that telly of Jeff Beck's that had the cut off arm contour. So that happened, and then Mike was in Burning Water. He said, hey, can you do something that looks more like Burning Water? Jim came up with this one, and it looked fun, and it was kind of blacks and stuff, and then Jim kind of kept refining that, and that became shmears. So we have vomits and shmears, and then some stuff is like, this is a shmear because the whole thing is shmeared, right? That's vomit. But then there's combinations. So a Tuckerberry is a shmear and vomit. So it's got layers like that, but it also has the shmear part of it. And it's just combinations, all that. And once in a while we'll try something different for somebody, and then it kind of becomes a staple. It's kind of fun and everything. So
I gotta show you something before I forget.
Yeah.
I was walking down my street. This is the Civics with the body paint.
Oh, always think about
Body
like that.
paint issue, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that's Tyler guitar.
I cruise around in life and see shmears everywhere.
Right?
I'm like, so this is the first 10. We've showed this many times, but it's fun because more new people will see it. But that was Jim built for himself, and then Todd Sharp, who makes amps, and he played with was it? I always forget. Rod Stewart, a bunch of guys. Just look him up. Rick Azen played. Yeah. Rick Azen played for Pat Boone, of course, Robin Ford, Tyler, and then Kevin Dukes. We have that guitar. I'll show you guys again. he played with Jackson Brown and also Billy Joel and then Bradshaw, the world famous, you know, Bob Bradshaw. Lukather's number 8 was Puffy.
Only right here that you're probably not going to be able to see, but it says Puffy, and that's because Lukather used to say that when he would come in the shop, he'd go, "Wow, that's very puffy."
That everybody's seen, and then Landau's first midnight guitar.
Here's a guitar that Mike Landau played for 4 years. Here's a picture of him at the baked potato playing it.
Who played with Billy Joel?
Yeah.
So would Tyler be in any of Billy Joel's videos?
Yeah, there's a great one. You can just Google Billy Joel mad in Russia.
Oh, yeah.
He was pissed.
On stage, he's got it? Oh, I've seen it. I know very well.
That's the guitar.
Oh, no way.
And that guitar is right here. And people are always like, oh, there's number 6 leaned up against the wall.
This is it?
Yeah.
Wow. I know the video. I've watched it many times. People meme it all the time.
Should we do a relict Tyler?
Okay, like I said, it was a dream. Felt like I was in a dream, being there after seeing these guitars for all these years. Yeah, I still can't believe it. So huge thanks, I gotta say, to Tim for setting up the whole thing, and then a massive thanks also to Rich and all the employees at James Tyler Guitars for letting us come in there and check out the whole facility while they were working, and everybody was super nice. Will there be a Tyler guitar in my future?
This guy's playing a guitar from us, and so we're filming how it's done. Basically.
I'm not saying yes, but yes. Anyways, that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. If you're new to my channel, please like and subscribe. Do all the YouTube stuff. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about James Tyler Guitars. And as always, play guitar and have fun, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.